I know UD was there.
Yep.
Joel Anthony was there.
Yep. My first year, Big Z was there, and
Big
Eric
Z
Dampier.
and Eric Dampier.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you when it all changed. Obviously, my first year there, played great basketball, got all the way to the finals, losing the finals. I played like shit. Spo is the reason why we were a better team and our team was more assembled properly.
Peace and blessings. Welcome to GOAT James Kingdom. On this episode, we're going to discuss how good were the Miami Heat in 2011. Were they truly title contenders from the inception of the Big Three? Now, we just heard LeBron James explain what happened in 2011 and explain the roster that was on the 2011 Miami Heat team, but his haters do not like his actual take. But like most of LeBron haters, they don't even know the history of the game, let alone the history of what they love to talk about, which is 2011 and LeBron James in the NBA Finals. But in all reality, this 2011 Miami Heat team actually overachieved. And I had this discussion on Friday Night Exposure with a few people on the panel. Pay attention as I ask them about the expectations of other NBA teams to see if it falls in line with the 2011 Heat.
Okay, all right, and Mac, what about you? Is Boston a championship team? If they don't win it, that means they underachieved this year from the beginning of the season?
I had at the beginning of the season, I had Milwaukee winning it.
So, while asking about the Boston Celtics of this NBA season and the expectations of that team, someone brought up the Milwaukee Bucks, which I feel is a perfect comparison to the 2011 Miami Heat. And I say this because the expectations for the Milwaukee Bucks is super high after adding Damian Lillard to the team during the offseason. With an already proven champion like a Giannis and also Brook Lopez, there is no reason why anyone wouldn't have the Milwaukee Bucks as the NBA championship contenders from the beginning of the season. And as of right now, in April of 2024, no one thinks the Milwaukee Bucks will win the NBA championship, which was very similar to the Miami Heat in 2011. But this is a fact that most people won't accept about 2011. Watch as I try to explain.
I asked you this, Mac. You said there's no difference. Milwaukee has championship experience. You said they're supposed
comparison.
To be. How? Giannis is an MVP, Finals MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and they just added Damian Lillard.
That's why they're not going to win.
So exactly, that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. So they're saying that you said you gave them the expectations to be champions, right? But you don't think they're going to win it. So they would have been considered underachieved. So they're supposed to have won a championship this year, first year team, correct?
No, I got the Milwaukee Bucks at the beginning of the season. So yeah, that is my team that I chose at the beginning of the season. If they don't win, then yeah, that's it. Yeah, then that's it. Then yeah, that's a failure. I was talking about the Boston Celtics.
Would that be the same as?
No, I'm saying,
would that be? No. I'm just saying, because the difference between Boston Celtics, they don't.
No,
have,
it's not the. It's not the.
They don't have a league MVP like LeBron. They don't have a league MVP like LeBron. They don't have the experienced champion like Dwayne Wade, right? But
there's no comparison to both teams.
The Bucks team. See, that's
the reason
what I'm
that there's no
for you to think that the Milwaukee Bucks or the Boston Celtics roster is not better than the 2011 Heat roster, you guys don't know basketball.
There's no comparison because...
And this is why GOAT James Kingdom exists. The way people are talking about the history of the game is all lies and based off of myths. The 2011 Miami Heat did not have a championship roster as it was constructed as of the 2010 offseason. In fact, the 2024 Milwaukee Bucks roster is actually better than the Miami Heat roster of 2011, where the Miami Heat roster had over 8 players on one-year deals. And the same way everybody feels about the Milwaukee Bucks today is what people felt about the Miami Heat in 2011. You guys always claim that we're liars and that we don't have any proof, but you know what we do here in GOAT James Kingdom. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Here, we will provide the predictions of the 2011 playoffs by the major outlets. As you can see, ESPN does not have the Miami Heat making the finals. Now, here is Bleacher Report's prediction. This was done in April 11th of 2011, and they had the Lakers beating the Miami Heat. In fact, they were the very few that had the Heat actually making the finals, and then 2 weeks later, they decided to say that the Heat would actually win the finals versus the Los Angeles Lakers. But more predictions will show that the Miami Heat were not even going to make the NBA Finals by these NBA experts. In fact, they were talking more about the Lakers. Even notable sports writers like Mark Spears and Adrian Wojnarowski had the Lakers making the finals and winning the NBA Finals. There were very few people who thought at the end of 2011 season that the Miami Heat were actually going to win the NBA championship. So when these GOAT James haters love to talk about how big of a choke and a failure the 2011 Miami Heat are, they completely ignore Kobe Bryant's 2011 Laker team. They were heavy favorites in the beginning of the season and at the end of the season, and even when they were going up against the Dallas Mavericks. But Kobe Bryant is not held to the same standards that LeBron James is held to, which shows why LeBron James is the GOAT. And all of this is due to the unrealistic expectations that people place on LeBron James. This Miami Heat team was not a championship contending team. Even the Heat knew this. Everyone around this time understood that the Heat had a roster full of fill-ins, not an actual roster of championship contention. Even the 2008 Boston Celtics did not have this type of expectation placed on them, with them having a better roster than the 2011 Heat. Here is a Bleacher Report pre-season prediction, and they don't have the Boston Celtics winning the NBA championship. Then when we go later on in the season, Bleacher Report has the same predictions, Boston Celtics, Suns finals, but again, they don't have the Celtics winning the championship. And here are some more predictions for the 2008 season. And as you can see, the Boston Celtics were not expected to win the NBA championship as well. So when LeBron said that the Miami Heat roster was full of minimum players and that they needed to actually get more players the next year and change up their strategy for the next season for them to be successful, it is not a lie. It is the actual truth spoken by GOAT James. So in all, the 2011 Miami Heat did overachieve because they were not actually supposed to be in the NBA Finals.
And that's the double truth, Ruth. He ain't lying. That's right.
Goodbye.
This is GOAT James Kingdom.